Shout out to my nigga Dom. True players, let's go. This that true player shit. We gon' make it live with Big Dom. How they gon' knock true player shit? We gon' take it farther than beyond. This that true player shit. We gon' make it live with Big Dom. How they gon' knock true player shit? We gon' take it farther than beyond.
What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dom coming live and at you with another True Players podcast. On Super Bowl Sunday, I'm gonna hit you guys with a brief preview of the game. Before we get to that, I want to just talk about briefly about Eli Manning retired last week. Officially made it official. He's only going to be playing for the New York Giants. So and he made it quite clear that he was not going to be a clipboard quarterback either. So we wish Eli Manning the best of luck in his endeavors as retired Giant. One of few players who actually played his entire career with one team and actually retired with the same team that he was drafted by. Briefly, his record as a quarterback was 500, unfortunately, with a completion percentage of 60.3%, 57,023 yards, 366 touchdowns, 244 interceptions. Is he Hall of Fame worthy? I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. I would say put him in because of the two Super Bowl runs, as well as the two Super Bowl MVPs. Put him in the Hall of Fame just for that. But, you can't just put everybody in the Hall of Fame because they won two Super Bowls. There's been a few quarterbacks who have won two Super Bowls and have not been in the Hall of Fame. So, it's up to you guys. I mean, he was an Iron Man. One thing, he played every game that he started. He started every game he started. So let's give him props for that. Ever since he took over Kurt Warner, he played every game up until McAdoo decided to pull the debacle of pulling him for Geno Smith. In which, me personally, if I was going to pull Eli Manning, I was going to pull him to play Davis Webb at the time. But, that messed up. You can't blame Eli for you can blame him for the interceptions. Because he did lead the league in 2 years in interceptions. You can blame him for that. But you can't blame him for poor offensive line play. You can't blame him for guys dropping balls and going to Miami the week before a playoff game. You can't blame him for that. So that's all I'm going to say about the situation with regards to Eli Manning. Is he a Hall of Famer? He's a Hall of Famer because he made some of the biggest plays in the biggest game. That's what I feel he should. He should be a Hall of Famer, but like I said, he's on the fence. He's like on the line. So if you're gonna put him in, you might as well put in Jim Plunkett. You might as well put in other guys who, who's on the borderline also. And also, briefly, I want to talk to you guys about the new New York Mets manager, Luis Rojas. I want to go with either Buck Showalter or Dusty Baker, but the Mets went with a guy who already knew the players since Single A. They say he's a great communicator. I like the press conference that he had with the media when he was brought in. They had to get a manager before the Fan Fun Day. Before the Fan Fun Day, this was it last Friday, the Friday, or this past Friday, the Friday before. But they had to get a manager in because guess what, guys? Spring training, pitch and catch report tomorrow, February 3rd. And they need a manager. They got a manager who can communicate with the players. All the players know him, so it's not a strange. It's not someone new. The Mets went the easy way with someone who's already in the organization to run the team. Do I think he's going to be a great manager? I don't know. Let's see him manage some baseball games, and we'll find out about that. On that note, guys, I'm going to go switch off to now the Super Bowl, which is going to be going off in the next 45 minutes, guys. Next 45 minutes. As soon as I'm done with this podcast, it's getting posted right after. So, what do you guys think about the Super Bowl? The 49ers coming with a great defense, great running game. Kansas City comes in the game with an electric offense, with an electric quarterback, and with an electric wide receiver. My thing is, I'm going to start with the Chiefs and with the keys to the game for them winning the game. The Chiefs cannot get down by 24 points against this San Francisco 49er team. Because by doing that, you will unleash their pass rush all the time. Plus, they have a three-headed running back crew starting with Tevin Coleman, who will be back for this football game. So they got to be careful. Don't get down early. Where Kyle Shanahan's always going to do is just run the football, because the Kansas City defense is not as good as the San Francisco defense. So the Chiefs got to get off to a fast start. Put the pressure. They got to get a big lead. So the ball has to be in Garoppolo's hands. But let me tell you something about that situation. I think Garoppolo's going to have a big game. I don't think he's going to be intimidated by the spotlights of Super Bowl Sunday. And I'm going to touch base with him a little bit in a few seconds. But like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs need to go up early, put the ball in Garoppolo's hands, and go from there. I want to see. I know Richard Sherman was talking a whole lot of smack about my man Darrelle Revis. They're going back and forth on Twitter. Let me just say something right now. In my opinion, Darrelle Revis is a better cornerback than Richard Sherman, because Richard Sherman does not follow the best receiver all around the field. He stays on one side of the field, and that's where he stays. So it's easier to roll your best receiver away from Richard Sherman. And besides, Richard Sherman had Brandon Browner in Seattle. He had another great corner on the other opposite side of him. Revis had Antonio Cromartie. He's pretty. Antonio Cromartie was pretty good. And who else? It was some other. I forgot. I should know this since I'm a big time Jet fan. But Darrelle Revis was the big time man-to-man corner in his prime. No one threw the Revis Island. No one. I don't care what what's-his-face Sherman had to say about that. Oh, he got burned by DeAndre Hopkins later in his career. But this is a guy who's played man-to-man defense on the best receiver his entire career. You think he's going to last as long as you have? He took on the challenge of the best receiver every single game. I've seen him shut down Chad Ochocinco. I've seen him shut down Terrell Owens, to name a few. I've seen him contain Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying? But let me get to the keys to the 49ers. In order for them to win the Super Bowl, they have to get the running game. Keep going with the running game. Keep going with the running game with Tevin Coleman and friends. With was it Bret Hart? Also Bret Hart or something like that. Also, keep the running game going and let Garoppolo make some plays, because you know what's going to happen. Steve Spagnuolo is going to commit 8 guys to the box to stop the three-headed running attack. So you got to let Garoppolo throw the ball a little bit, loosen up that defense so you can get to that 7-man box, and then let the running game take over from there. They should get up big. They need to get up big on the Kansas City Chiefs so they can unleash Bosa and Bosa and friends on Mahomes. The difference between Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers is age, because Aaron Rodgers, certain parts of the game, he couldn't get away from that pass rush. He could not get away from that pass rush. That's very important. That's the big thing with the San Francisco 49ers. They do have the better defense. Keep Tyreek Hill in front of you. Keep Travis Kelce in front of you. Do not let those guys go deep. Don't let the guys go deep on your cover three defense. Otherwise, it's game over. It's going to be a track meet. And I tell you one thing: the as good as San Francisco defense is, they don't want that smoke from that speed. I'm saying that right now. They don't want that smoke. So that is my opinion on the Super Bowl tonight. And this is the last game of the season, last game of the NFL season, you know. So, and I will definitely bless you guys with my predictions and who the Jets should pick up, who the Giants should pick up, and all that fun stuff, and go from there. And my score is who I think is going to win. I hope it's 9-9 because I did play a box, a $10 box. So I hope the score ends with a 9 at the end of each team. But I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I want Andy Reid to win one. Finally, to win one. He's a great coach. The only thing missing from his resume is that Super Bowl victory, and that's what I'm gonna go with because he deserves it. I mean, Kyle Shanahan deserves it. He got a second chance, second opportunity to go back to the Super Bowl, this time as a head coach. And that's what I feel should happen. So we'll see what happens with the game. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see the game. Two opposite teams going at each other. One believes in the old school way of running game and great defense. The other team is more prolific offense, high powered, all passing offense. It's going to be an exciting game to see. And I'm gonna drop you guys with the full song of my theme song, brought to you courtesy by my cousins, Miss Black Rose and my cousin Prophecy. I'm gonna bless you with that song right now. Okay, we seem to have technical difficulties here with the music, but we will have that up. There it is, people. Enjoy it.
Shout out to my nigga Dom. True players, let's go. This that true player shit. We gon' make it live with Big Dom. How they gon' knock true player shit? We gon' take it farther than beyond. This that true player shit. We gon' make it live with Big Dom. How they gon' knock true player shit? We gon' take it farther than beyond. Beyond holding no punches. True players, we live, homie, no frontin', always talk about something. So, taking over, you know that the wait is over. That in-your-face commentary is fire in the show up. We talk about sports, finance, and relationships. True players, we always playing the greatest hits. 1804, that mean Hades lit. Mothers feel the true players like baby kicks. Our live podcast is hard as hard hats. Real life shit, that true players will talk that. So tune in and watch the whole world zoom in. When they hit us, they gon' be like, who's she and who's him? But never who, we just better fool. Lyrically incredible, doggy, I get better fool. Live talk radio is different here. You can tell the difference when you listen here. Let's go. This, that true player shit. We gon' make it live with Big Dom. How they gon' knock true player shit? We gon' take it farther than beyond. This, that true player shit. We gon' make it live with Big Dom. How they gon' knock true player shit? We gon' take it farther than beyond.
Black Riz is naturally a true player. With my King Claw, he's like a soothsayer. Shout out to Big Dom, he's a true player. We even talk ball, man, we be soufflaying. So who playing? We talk about everything. Live, from the light to the heavy things. Live on podcast, we gon' help your time pass. We well connected, way better than Comcast. No cap, why? Cause we stay woke. And our podcast is fire, straight slide. So play close, attention cause we ain't the most. Shout out to Sheik J, the Kissy Styles, be the ghost. No matter the topic, we poppin'. We talk politics and relationships. Live for the people, it's a podcast sequel. Gridlock, Black Rose, this is just a preview.
All right, people. It's been Big Dom about to sign off on this podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Joey G Radio, Spreaker, Anchor, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn Radio. Just search for True Players Podcast on these platforms, and you'll listen to the podcast. It's been Big Dom signing off. Oh, before I sign off, any comments, feedback, hit me up on my email, trueplayerspodcast@gmail.com, which is TRUPLAYAZ podcast at gmail.com. It's your man Dom signing off for this podcast. Enjoy the Super Bowl, people. Peace.